Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cowboys and Cattle. In our last episode, after discovering the security camera at Price Ranch, Ashley and Caleb reported to the FBI and received instructions to act normal and maintain their cover. They visited Heartland terrified, knowing Nathan had seen them on his property. Nathan made veiled threats throughout their visit, comments about accidents happening to people who trespass, warnings delivered with plausible deniability, while Amy remained oblivious. They witnessed him snap cruelly at Lindy, then immediately shift to warmth when Amy intervened. The calculated manipulation was chilling. After Nathan's increasingly overt threats, Ashley and Caleb contacted the FBI demanding to pull back, saying this was too dangerous for civilians. But instead of pulling them out, the FBI pressured them harder. They need concrete evidence linking Nathan to crimes, or Amy stays in danger with no legal grounds for intervention. The episode ended with Ashley and Caleb facing an impossible choice: continue risking their lives gathering evidence, or tell Amy everything without proof, and potentially trigger Nathan's violence immediately. Either option could be fatal, and they had to decide quickly. If you've been gripped by this dangerous investigation, please hit that like button and subscribe. Today's episode shows Ashley and Caleb still grappling with their impossible decision. Exhausted and scared, they decide to visit Jack in the hospital, partly to check on his recovery, partly seeking some kind of clarity or guidance. But what they find there will change everything. Jack doesn't know Lou left Heartland, and when he discovers the truth, his breakdown will be devastating. But in his desperation and pain, Jack will reveal something that makes Ashley and Caleb's decision crystal clear. Nathan Price has been destroying the Fleming family systematically, and they're the only ones who can stop him. This is episode 34, and Jack's desperate plea will set Ashley and Caleb on a path there's no turning back from. Ashley and Caleb's property. Ashley stood at the kitchen window, staring out at nothing, a cold cup of coffee forgotten in her hands. She hadn't slept more than a few hours. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Nathan's cold face making veiled threats, or she imagined Amy in danger, or she pictured herself and Caleb being hurt because they'd pushed too far. Caleb came downstairs looking equally exhausted, dark circles under his eyes, showing he'd had a night as bad as hers.
Did you sleep at all?
Maybe 2 hours. You?
About the same?
They stood together in the kitchen, both consumed by the weight of the decision hanging over them. Continue the dangerous investigation, or walk away and leave Amy unprotected. And they keep thinking about what the FBI said, that if we tell Amy without proof, she won't believe us. That Nathan could escalate and hurt her. But if we continue investigating, and Nathan realizes what we're doing,
then we're the ones who get hurt. I know. I've been running through the same scenarios all night.
I don't know what to do, Caleb. Every option feels wrong. They sat at the kitchen table, both staring at nothing, paralyzed by the impossible choice. Finally, Caleb spoke.
Maybe we should visit Jack at the hospital.
Jack?
Yeah, he's Amy's grandfather. He loves her and Lindy more than anything, and he's been sick through all of this. Maybe, talking to him will help us figure out the right thing to do.
Ashley considered this. Jack had always been a steady, wise presence at Heartland. If anyone could provide perspective on this situation, it might be him. Okay, let's go see Jack. Plus bottle Jack's room. They arrived at the hospital mid-morning, checking in at the front desk and making their way to Jack's room. Ashley felt nervous for reasons she couldn't fully articulate. They were about to visit a man they hadn't seen in years, who'd been seriously ill, whose family was falling apart around him. They knocked softly on the partially open door. Lisa's voice called out for them to come in. The sight of Jack in the hospital bed was shocking. He looked so much older than Ashley remembered. The vibrant, strong rancher she'd known years ago was gone, replaced by someone who looked fragile and diminished. But his eyes were alert when he saw them, and a small smile touched his lips.
Ashley? Caleb? Is that really you?
Hi, Jack. We heard you were in the hospital. Wanted to come check on you. They moved to his bedside. Lisa stood from her chair near the window, looking exhausted herself. She greeted them warmly, clearly grateful for the visit and the distraction.
It's good to see you both. Been a long time.
Too long. How are you feeling?
Like I've been hit by a truck, but the doctors say I'm improving. Slowly.
His voice was weak but sincere. They talked for a few minutes about his illness and recovery. Nothing too heavy, just caring conversation between old friends. Jack asked about their ranch business, seemed genuinely interested in their lives. Then the conversation naturally turned to Heartland and the family. We've been spending time at Heartland lately, helping Amy with some of the horses. The place looks good. She's managing it well.
She's always been so good with those horses. Got her mother's gift, and then some.
His voice was full of pride and love. Then his expression shifted, becoming more concerned.
How is she really doing? Amy, I mean. Lisa and Lindy visit regularly and keep me updated, but I feel like I'm missing things being stuck in here.
Ashley and Caleb exchanged glances. This was delicate territory.
She seems to be managing okay. The ranch work keeps her busy. Managing everything alone is quite hard, since Lou's not there to help her much. But Nathan's been helping.
What do you mean, Lou's not around? I know she and Amy have had their conflicts, but with me being sick, I thought maybe they'd work things out.
The question hung in the air. Ashley felt her stomach drop. She looked at Lisa, who had gone very still, her face showing something close to panic. Lou, you mean? You haven't talked to Lou recently?
Not in a couple weeks. She called when I first got sick, but then said she had some business trip or something. Why? Is something wrong?
Ashley and Caleb both looked at Lisa again, silently asking if Jack really didn't know. Lisa's face confirmed it. She'd kept Lou's departure from Jack, trying to protect him during his illness. But now the truth was about to come out, and there was no way to stop it.
Jack, Lou isn't on a business trip. She left Heartland. Quite a while ago.
Jack's face went completely still, like he'd stopped breathing. When he spoke, his voice was barely a whisper.
What do you mean, she left?
We don't know much, but she left after the conflict with Amy. Amy told us about it. Lou's not at Heartland anymore.
When? How long ago?
A few weeks, I suppose, Jack.
The color drained from Jack's already pale face. His eyes moved to Lisa, searching for contradiction, for any sign that this wasn't true. But Lisa was looking down at her hands, guilt and sorrow written across her features.
Lisa? You knew? You knew Lou left? And you didn't tell me?
I didn't want to upset you. You were so sick, Jack. The stress could have made you worse. I thought if I could just get you through the crisis, then we could deal with the family situation once you were stronger.
My granddaughter left, and nobody told me.
His voice was rising, becoming more agitated, anxiously looking at them.
Where is she? Where did Lou go?
We don't know. She just left. Amy doesn't know where she is either. That answer seemed to break something in Jack. His whole body shook. His hands gripped the bed rails, knuckles white.
My family is falling apart, and I'm stuck in this damn bed, unable to do anything about it.
His breathing became labored, ragged. Lisa moved toward him, trying to calm him, but Jack was beyond comfort. He reached for the IV line in his arm, trying to pull it out.
I need to get up. I need to go home. I need to find Lou and fix this.
Jack, no! You're not well. But Jack was pulling at the monitoring equipment, trying to disconnect himself from the machines that were tracking his vital signs. Alarms started beeping as sensors detected disruption. Ashley and Caleb rushed forward, gently but firmly restraining Jack's hands, preventing him from yanking out the IV that was still delivering medication.
Jack, stop. You need to stay calm. You're making yourself sicker.
We'll help. We'll figure this out. But you need to focus on getting better first. But Jack was sobbing now, his whole body shaking with the force of his grief and frustration.
Lou is gone. How did this happen? How did I let my family fall apart?
Lisa had pressed the call button, and a nurse rushed in, taking in the scene quickly. She moved to check Jack's IV and monitoring equipment while speaking in soothing, professional tones. "Mr. Bartlett, I need you to calm down. Your heart rate is dangerously elevated. Please lie back and breathe slowly." But Jack wasn't hearing her. He was still trying to get up, still sobbing, his face twisted with anguish.
I have to find her. I have to bring her home.
Ashley kept her hands gently on Jack's shoulders, keeping him from rising despite his struggles. She leaned close, speaking directly to him with quiet intensity. "Jack, listen to me. We will help you. We will find out what happened and we will bring Lou back. But you have to calm down and let yourself heal first. You can't help anyone if you make yourself worse." Something in her voice seemed to cut through Jack's panic. He looked at her, his tear-stained face desperate and pleading.
Please tell me you'll help.
"I promise. We both promise. Right, Caleb?"
Absolutely. We'll do whatever it takes.
The nurse administered something through the IV, probably a sedative to calm Jack's agitation. Gradually, his struggles weakened, his breathing slowed slightly. When he spoke again, his voice was broken with grief.
It's Nathan. He's the one behind all of this.
He said in a low voice. Ashley and Caleb went very still, exchanging quick glances. Jack continued, his words coming out in gasps between sobs.
He drove Lou away. I saw it happening. The way he manipulated Amy, turned her against her sister. The way he isolated her, controlled her. I tried to warn Amy, but she wouldn't listen. And Lou tried to protect her and got pushed out for it.
He gripped Ashley's hand with surprising strength for someone so weak.
Nathan Price is destroying my family, and I've been too sick to stop him. You have to help Amy. You have to prove to her what he really is, before it's too late.
Ashley felt tears forming in her own eyes. She and Caleb had suspected all of this, had been investigating it, but hearing it confirmed by Jack, hearing the desperation in his voice, made it devastatingly real. "What did you see, Jack? What did Nathan do?"
He's a manipulator. From the moment he appeared in Amy's life, everything started going wrong. He'd say things to Amy about Lou being controlling, about Lou interfering. He'd reframe every argument to make Lou look like the problem. And Amy believed him because she was lonely and he was telling her what she wanted to hear.
Jack's voice was getting weaker as the sedative took effect, but he pushed through, desperate to tell them everything.
Lou found something, found evidence, like surveillance bugs, all around the Heartland. She knew that Nathan was lying about things and manipulating Lou. She tried to tell Amy and Nathan he framed her, and Amy chose to believe Nathan over her own sister.
Caleb and Ashley looked at Lisa.
When was the last time you've seen her? What happened on the day Lou left?
She came to see Jack in the hospital. Amy came rushing towards her, screaming that Lou was trying to frame Nathan. I didn't know what they were talking about. I just saw Amy's anger that I've never seen in her. Amy had showed up with Nathan. She accused Lou of trying to manipulate Jack against Nathan. Lou tried multiple times to explain and make Amy understand, but she refused to listen to her. At one point, Amy told Lou to get out of the Heartland. And Lou left that day, and nobody's seen her since. The sedative was pulling Jack towards sleep now, but he fought it, needing to say everything he could. He said with a heavy lid,
Nathan isn't who he says he is. I don't know what he really wants or what he's really involved in, but I know he's dangerous. And Amy can't see it, 'cause she's under his control. Please, you have to help her. You have to prove what he is and bring my family back together.
His eyes were closing now despite his best efforts to stay conscious. Ashley squeezed his hand gently. We will, Jack. I promise you. We'll find the proof Amy needs to see the truth. And we'll bring Lou home. You just focus on getting better. Jack's last words before the sedative claimed him were barely a whisper.
Save my girls. Please save my girls.
Then his eyes closed and his breathing deepened into sedated sleep. The nurse checked his vital signs, nodded with satisfaction that he was stable now, and quietly excused herself. Lisa stood near the window, tears streaming down her face. She looked at Ashley and Caleb with profound gratitude mixed with guilt. Thank you for calming him. And I'm sorry you had to be the ones to tell him about Lou. I should have told him sooner. I was so scared the stress would kill him. We understand. You were trying to protect him. But he was right to be upset. I kept something important from him, and now he's even more distressed. I don't know what to do anymore. This family is falling apart and I don't know how to fix it. Caleb moved to Lisa's side, putting a comforting hand on her shoulder.
It's not your job to fix everything alone. And Jack was right about Nathan. We've been watching him, observing his behavior, and what Jack described matches what we've seen.
Lisa looked at them sharply. You've noticed something wrong with Nathan too? Yes. The way he treats Amy, the way he controls situations, the way he acts completely different when he thinks no one important is watching. It's concerning. I've tried to talk to Amy about it, gently, because I didn't want to push her away like Lou did. But she won't hear it. She's convinced Nathan is good for her, that everyone else is just being overprotective or paranoid.
That's what manipulators do. They make their victims doubt everyone else while trusting only them.
They stayed with Lisa for another hour, talking in quiet tones while Jack slept. Lisa shared more details about the family's deterioration, the fights between Amy and Lou, Nathan's growing control over Heartland, Lindy's increasing anxiety around Nathan, the way the whole dynamic had become toxic and unhealthy. By the time Ashley and Caleb left the hospital, they both felt the weight of what they'd witnessed and learned crushing down on them. In their vehicle, sitting in the hospital parking lot, neither spoke for several minutes. Finally, Ashley broke the silence. We can't walk away from this, after seeing Jack like that, hearing his desperation, understanding the full scope of what Nathan's done to that family. We can't just abandon them.
I know, but we're scared, Ashley. Nathan is dangerous. He's threatened us. If we continue investigating, and he figures out what we're doing,
Then we get hurt. Maybe. But if we don't continue, Jack stays in that hospital bed, heartbroken and helpless, while Nathan continues destroying his family. Lou stays gone. Amy stays under Nathan's control, and Lindy grows up in a house with someone who treats her with cruelty.
so we risk ourselves to protect them?
Yes, because that's what you do for people you care about. And because we might be the only ones who can actually stop Nathan before he does something irreversible. Caleb stared out the windshield for a long moment, processing everything. Then he nodded slowly.
Okay, we do this. We continue the investigation. We gather the evidence the FBI needs, and we expose Nathan for what he really is.
No matter the risk to ourselves?
No matter the risk, Jack asked us to save his girls. We promised him, and I intend to keep that promise.
Ashley pulled out her phone and opened the encrypted communication channel with the FBI. She typed carefully, her hands steadier now that the decision was made. Agent Morrison, we've made our decision. We're in. We'll continue gathering evidence linking Nathan Price to the criminal operation. Tell us what you need us to do. She hit send. They waited in tense silence for the response. It came within minutes. Understood and noted. Your commitment to this investigation is appreciated and will be remembered. Here's what we need. Concrete evidence linking Nathan Price directly to the smuggling operation. Documentation, communications, financial records, anything that proves he's not just passively connected through property ownership, but actively involved in criminal activity. Another message followed immediately. We have surveillance on the Price Ranch showing continued criminal activity, but we need to connect Nathan specifically to those operations. You have access to him through Amy that we don't have. Look for inconsistencies in his stories, Watch for suspicious meetings or communications. Document anything that doesn't fit his supposed legitimate work. If opportunity arises to search his belongings or access his private spaces without arousing suspicion, document what you find. But be extremely careful. Nathan Price is intelligent and dangerous. If he realizes you're investigating him, he could become violent. Ashley and Caleb read the messages together, both understanding what was being asked of them. They weren't just observers anymore. They were active intelligence gatherers who would need to get closer to Nathan, search for evidence, take risks that could get them seriously hurt if Nathan discovered what they were doing.
Searching his belongings. That means going through his things at Heartland when Amy isn't looking. That means violating her home and her privacy to investigate her boyfriend.
I know. The line between protecting Amy and betraying her trust is so blurred now, I can't even see it anymore.
But we promised Jack, and the FBI is right. We have access that law enforcement doesn't have. If we don't do this, who will?
Ashley typed one more message to Agent Morrison. We understand. We'll find the evidence you need. However long it takes, whatever it takes, we'll connect Nathan Price to the criminal operation and give you grounds to arrest him. Be safe, be smart, and remember, so your lives are more valuable than this case. If anything feels too dangerous, extract yourself immediately and contact me. We'll find another way. Good luck. The conversation ended there. Ashley pocketed her phone and started the vehicle. As they pulled out of the hospital parking lot, both were silent, consumed by the commitment they'd just made. They were going to break into Amy's home and search for evidence against Nathan. They were going to get closer to a dangerous man who'd already threatened them. They were going to risk their safety and their lives to protect a family that didn't even fully know they needed protecting. The decision was made. There was no turning back now. The episode ended on their faces as they drove away from the hospital, both set with grim determination. Behind them in the hospital room, Jack slept under sedation, his face still showing the tracks of tears, his last words echoing in their memory. Save my girls. Please save my girls. That desperate plea had changed everything. Ashley and Caleb weren't just investigators anymore. They were soldiers in a war to save the Fleming family from a predator wearing a boyfriend's mask, and the battle was about to escalate into dangerous territory where one wrong move could cost them everything. But they'd made a promise to a heartbroken grandfather lying helpless in a hospital bed, and that promise was worth any risk, any danger, any cost. Because some things family, loyalty, protecting the innocent were worth fighting for even when the odds were terrifying. Jack had given them clarity in his desperation. Now they had to give him hope by finishing what they'd started, no matter where it led. That concludes today's episode. Ashley and Caleb, still struggling with their impossible decision, visited Jack in the hospital seeking clarity. What they found there changed everything. Jack didn't know Lou had left Heartland. Elisa had kept it from him to protect him during his illness. When Ashley accidentally revealed the truth, Jack had a complete breakdown. He cried, became severely agitated, tried to pull out his IV and get up despite his weakness, desperately saying he needed to find his daughter and fix his family. Ashley and Caleb had to physically restrain him while a nurse administered sedation. But before the medication took effect, Jack revealed something crucial. Nathan is behind the family's destruction. He saw Nathan manipulate Amy against Lou, frame Lou when she found evidence of Nathan's lies, systematically isolate and control Amy until the family fell apart. Jack's desperate plea, save my girls. Please save my girls, gave Ashley and Caleb the clarity they needed. They promised Jack they'd find proof and bring Lou home. After witnessing his breakdown and understanding the full scope of Nathan's damage, they made their decision. They contacted the FBI. We're in. We'll continue. The FBI responded that they need concrete evidence linking Nathan directly to criminal operations, and Ashley and Caleb have access through Amy that law enforcement doesn't have. The episode ended with them driving away from the hospital, committed to a dangerous path of searching for evidence against Nathan, even if it means violating Amy's home and trust to protect her. Jack's breakdown showed them what's at stake, and now there's no turning back. Join us next time as they begin their most dangerous investigation yet. If this episode moved you, please like and subscribe. Until next time, this is Cowboys and Cattle.